Swig for good measure. Hey, throw me a Coke. You want a Coke?
Our last one.
Poop face. I'm gonna shoot better shit than you.
Alright, we live, boy. What's up, folks? We're back with you for another episode of Top Picks, episode 11. With you, as always, your boy AJ 5000.
With you always, D-Rat.
Crazy week in the NFL, yeah?
Nuts.
I remember I was looking at the slate before the week. I was like, yo, this week fucking sucks. Like, just boring as shit. Let's just get into a recap, man. Start with Sunday Night Football. Broncos lose by 6 to the Chiefs.
Game.
I liked what I saw out of everybody on
That
Denver. Defense played great.
Very well. That Shelby Harris.
He's going to be a rich man after this year, dude.
Yeah,
he's going to get a
Tipped
shitload
all
of
the
money.
passes, huh?
He's a good fucking taste Tyreek Hill down on that one.
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
He's fucking good, man. He's going to get paid a lot. It's crazy because the Broncos played probably their best game of the year. And the Chiefs probably played their worst.
And it still was a good
Still, man.
Yeah.
That Chiefs team.
We held the Chiefs to like 4 field goals in the red zone. Isn't it?
Yeah. That Broncos red zone defense is legit,
Really good.
dude. That defensive unit, once Miller comes back, is going to be fucking scary. If you could get a competent quarterback, I just don't see Drew Lock being the guy. Honestly.
Yeah, he's struggling.
I like him a lot. Like, I think he's a cool guy. But
and especially how good his draft class is, I think, with quarterbacks, I think we need to draft one. Yeah.
You think they should have the balls and just say, fuck it, go get Justin Fields or Trey Lance or Mac Jones?
Yeah, I would say.
I mean,
Why not, you know?
If you look at that Broncos team, that's the only missing part. They have
Because-
skills for days. They have a great defense.
Because like Drew Lock's like our only really number one guy. We don't have guys like battling for like first string. You know, it's just Drew Lock and then our backups. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe Blake Bortles if he's like but even then it's like why
light a fire under his ass.
Yeah, but at the same time it's like why even try for like a has-been like the past? You know,
Yeah.
Like resurrect his career for what?
Speaking of has-been, I've seen a lot of rumors of Matt Stafford to the Broncos. Do you think that would work
I
well?
would like that.
I think Matt Stafford's very underrated just because his team sucked. But they've always had shit, you know?
Yeah, I didn't know definitely because like the last time we did that, it was Joe Flacco, but that didn't work well. So, but then it could I know Peyton Manning's a one of a kind, but that worked with him. So, and Stafford's not quite Peyton Manning, but I think.
And you see some guys who have had career reemergence, like Rivers just played decent.
Right.
I mean Tannehill,
Yeah.
he got great. So we'll see.
It's definitely a risk, and like with those guys, you don't have to pay him. I feel like you wouldn't have to pay him crazy money either. You know.
And those guys will be so hungry to win. I feel like Matt Stafford would be like, I'll take a pay cut just so I'm not 7-9, 6-10 every year again.
And I think John Elway's a good bullshitter. You know, I feel like he's good at recruiting.
How would you like to be a Denver Bronco?
Right.
Like, yeah, and if John Elway tells you, I want you to play quarterback, it's like,
that's like
hard to turn it down.
That's like one of the greats saying they want you to play them, right? At their own position.
One of the greats respecting you enough to say, I want you to come after me in line.
Game recognizing game. You know?
Yeah, well,
he hasn't done that.
Yeah. Okay. I was watching Skip and Shannon this morning, and Skip Bayless is ripping John Elway like they can't draft a fucking quarterback. Shannon Sharp's like, he's trying to play the same with John Boyce. He's like, well, Skip, John's great. It's not their fault that they don't pan out. Yeah. Skip Bayless is like, bro, like just draft guys who will pan out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. John.
Because it's just like that is one of those positions where it's like you really don't know. You know?
Raiders squeak by the Jets.
That was bad.
That was a shit show.
I'm glad that Jets defensive coordinator got fired. There's no need for that. And you saw that meme where it's like this is the play they needed if he wanted to keep his job, and it was like prevent on Madden.
Well, that takes me to my check this shit out, actually. So we'll get back to recap.
Yeah.
My check this shit out. Since advanced stats have been used in the NFL starting in 2006, in a game-winning Hail Mary situation, there's never been a defense that's pressured six or more players. And the Jets pressured 7.
It's like, why?
On a 5-wide Hail Mary set. Like, Greg Williams has to have played Madden at least one point, bro. Man up 3 deep. That's the play in fucking Madden.
So they took tanking for Trevor Lawrence to a whole new level, man.
Dude, that was literally all you had to do was that
Stay
man
back.
up 3 deep play. Like all 11 of you stand on like the 5-yard line and just don't let them get past you. Sucks, man. I don't even know if they were tanking though, which sucks. Like I think they're that retarded where they're like, we'll trick them. This will work.
Yeah, that's true.
Ridiculous.
I mean, you kind of have like that what the hell mentality. You know?
Mhm. Yeah, fuck it, man.
Fuck it. But, what do we have to lose, yo?
The Raiders, man. I'm really disappointed in what I've seen from the Raiders, honestly.
Because for a while there, they were like, we were talking about like maybe they're sneaky contenders, you know?
Yeah, we
Now
were. They
that's
beat
not
the Chiefs. They played the Chiefs
Right.
well, and then they go get the shit beat out of them by Atlanta. They go
destroyed by Atlanta. Embarrassed.
They almost lose to the Jets. It's weird. There's a lot of teams in the NFL this year that they could beat anybody, but they could lose to anybody.
Right.
You know?
Heck yeah.
Next one, Browns dominated the Titans. I mean, they only ended up winning by a touchdown, but
Baker Mayfield looking real nice.
feeling dangerous, as they say.
Bad.
Dude, he looked fucking awesome. If Baker Mayfield can play like that through the playoffs, they'll win the Super Bowl. But he's not going to.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a big all.
But if he did, they would, but he's not going to.
Yeah.
But he looked awesome,
He
dude.
looked great.
Good reads, good throws. They contained Derrick Henry, too, on defense.
Yeah.
They contained the shit out of Derrick Henry.
Big time.
I don't know, man.
And I think if the Steelers suffered kind of a bad loss, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if the Steelers, like, honestly, I can see them going like on a slippery slope where they just kind of go increasingly down.
What are they now? 11-1?
11-1, but I mean, obviously, like everyone knows that's not an impressive 11 wins. You know, I mean, any win in the NFL is a good win, but
no, I see.
It's
not like they're not a dominant 11-1 team.
It's not like they're beating the Chiefs and like all like the Saints.
That's one thing. They got a good schedule to be 11-1 with.
And I mean, they lost. Like, it wasn't a good loss. So, and I think I could definitely see them just going down. And if the Browns keep it up, what if the Steelers?
What are the Browns right now? 9-3.
Yeah.
So if the Browns can finish out,
the Browns went out, and the Steelers almost and lose a few more. You could see a potential.
What if, man? And dude, people are like, "Oh, they should trade Baker, fire the coach," and it's like, bro, the Browns are 10-3.
Yeah, right.
Like, I understand. Yeah, Mayfield might not be top 5. Right, he's doing what he needs to, especially with Chubb and Kareem Hunt, dude. Those guys are legit. That's probably the best running back duo I might have ever seen, honestly. They got talent at receivers too.
No, and especially Odell being out and him, so we do this. Impressive.
Myles Garrett too. He's really the captain of a great, or not a great, but a very good defensive unit over there. Taysom beats the Falcons. Proved my dumbass wrong.
My top pick as well.
Yeah, fuck you, Taysom Hill.
It's just like, I don't know. He just like still does not impress me. But he just wins.
See,
you know,
that's how I feel. It's not like, oh, Taysom Hill won that game.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, the Saints did.
But it's not like Taysom Hill's doing like phenomenal. I mean, he's doing enough to win. Obviously, he's scoring touchdowns, but it's like just still not impressive.
Yeah, he's winning, but I don't look at him. I'm like, oh, that guy can replace Drew Brees. Yeah.
No,
and it seems like Sean Payton thinks that. So you think that'll bite him in the ass when Brees retires?
I don't know. Honestly, I like James.
How big of a fuck you would it be? They're like, we're sticking with Taysom. Jameis goes somewhere else, starts, and it's fucking nice. Yeah, Taysom sucks.
I can see it.
I just don't think Hill's a quarterback. I think he's like a gimmicky player.
Just like an athlete. He's just like, I feel like he should be like an emergency quarterback. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like,
or it's like, oh, fuck it. We could throw this weird look at him.
Like, I can see him having a successful career just being kind of like the duel, like what they've been doing with him and Brees, you know? You can do that somewhere else, but I don't see him being just a full
It's weird, dude.
He's not an elite passer enough.
Right. He's not even a good passer.
Yeah,
I would say.
He's just like a underwhelming, like exactly like how Lamar Jackson did this year, like how how he's hurting. That's gonna be him when he first year starting because they're gonna know he's not a great passer.
Tim Tebow, man.
Tim Tebow. They're just gonna give him like all that the running back, the running quarterback treatment. You know.
Yeah, we dare you to throw. We know you can't. Okay, you suck. You lost. Carson Wentz got benched.
About time.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
I saw this funny ass meme, bro. It's like that picture of Aaron Rodgers and Carson Wentz dapping each other up. Yeah. It's all, yo, bro, your job came in Wentz. And Carson Wentz is like, bro, stop. And it's all hurts, doesn't it?
It hurts.
But Carson Wentz, man, like I kind of feel a little bit bad for him, though. Because, all right, he gets drafted high. Everyone's like, yo, this guy sucks. He says, no, I'm an MVP candidate in 2018. Tear my ACL. Okay, now I have to walk by a shrine and a statue of my backup. Whatever. Okay, I get paid a lot. They think I'm the guy of the future. Okay, we just drafted a guy in the second round. Like, I just feel like the confidence from the organization was never there.
I feel like I disagree because I feel like they been riding with him for so long. I feel like they have too much confidence in him.
I just feel like
that he's gonna pan out because like if they didn't have an enormous amount of confidence, they would have stuck with the guy that freaking won him a Super Bowl.
But I think Carson Wentz proved that. Like he was gonna win the MVP that year. So he's like, yo, I'm that dude. Like I'm that high level. And I think Foles winning a Super Bowl destroyed his confidence. And then Jalen Hurts getting drafted is like, come on, guys, like trust me.
Yeah, no, I guess what I think it is, I think it just had too much expectations. I think it just had too much like pressure on him. Like especially I feel like almost he was. I mean, obviously, everyone in the NFL wants to get paid. Everyone wants a big contract, but I feel like in a way it almost scared him when he signed that big contract because
he feels like he has to live up to it.
Yeah, like I signed this huge contract, like, but now it's like shit.
Alex Rodriguez talked about that in an interview.
Yeah,
he said his worst baseball came like the next year after he signed his contract because he
started forcing stuff.
He was like, I don't just have to be A-Rod, I have to be $250 million A-Rod. Right. So like, as a quarterback, you start forcing throws. As a baseball player, you start swinging at shit because I need to hit homers. I need to drive and run. So.
Right. No, they start like, playing out of their norm.
You got to stay within yourself because the guy they paid you for is the guy you've been. Exactly. So you just got to keep being that guy. Giants beat Seahawks. Crazy, man. Colt McCoy's a pimp.
Good for Colt McCoy. Born in Hobbs, Mexico.
Colt McCoy's born in Hobbs? What?
No, that was really cool to see. And Colt McCoy's like as solid as a backup as they come,
Dude, he's never hurt. Has the experience. He's cool with everybody.
And I mean, it's not like he's a backup coming from like Delaware, So he's a backup coming from like Texas ball,
and he was like that good at Texas too.
He was really good at Texas. So I mean, that's good to see from him. And like, obviously, I mean, if he's good enough to beat the Seahawks. I mean, I'm not okay. The Seahawks obviously have a bad defense,
right?
But I mean, at the same time, like if he can still like pull off a win, like that just shows like he's.
I'm giving credit to Giants coach Joe Judge, man.
Yeah, it's the whole organization
to set up that defense to be able to shut down Russ. Right. Like he hasn't been the same as he was in the first 4 weeks, but
especially everyone like hyping up DK and the whole.
Let Russ cook. DK is baby Braun. Oh, DK tackle the guy. That's not the position he plays. Who gives a fuck?
Nah, exactly. After all, like. Them just setting down the hype. That was cool.
That is pretty cool. And it's ridiculous how, like the Seahawks had more hype than, like good. Like, everyone, Russ has never got an MVP vote. He deserves it. He has, this year, to this point, he has a lower passer rating than Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. And that's, like, no disrespect to Russ. That's why he doesn't have MVP votes, because he hasn't always been consistent.
And, I mean, obviously, it's like you can call it recency bias, but like I feel like the people that decide who gets MVP, they really, I mean, obviously it's like a over the whole season award, but if you play phenomenal ball the back half of the season, that's gonna stick in their head.
Last 8 weeks, bro.
Most importantly than like the first.
Who's been playing good as shit? Patrick Mahomes.
Always. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers too.
Aaron Rodgers.
Like, that Tampa Bay loss, you threw 2 picks. Oh, that was early. You're getting your stride.
I could see even though like just how the Browns have an outside chance, so did the who did you say it?
Packers?
Packers, yeah. The Packers have an outside chance to become the 1 seed too because they had the head-to-head over the Saints.
Yeah, dude, and that's
And they what's the record? 3 losses, I think.
Yeah, they have 3.
And the Saints only have 1, I believe, right?
Yes, the Packers have lost to the
Vikings. The Saints have lost 2, I'm pretty sure.
The Packers have lost 2, I think, also.
No, I know the Saints have a better record.
Okay.
But anyways, I'm just saying, like, if they do end up with tied, I'm pretty sure it goes to the head-to-head, right?
Packers team looks good, man.
Heck yeah.
Elite running back, best receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL, and MVP Aaron Rodgers.
Obviously, it's like the Saints, I mean, have been known, like, notorious of choking in the playoffs for bad teams.
That's their reputation.
Right. And so if they do, if the Packers do get the seat ahead of them and they have to go to Lambeau Field, I realize that there's no fans in that.
It's still cold as fuck,
exactly.
Man.
It's still like 40-year-old Drew Brees playing in 30-degree, 20-degree temperatures.
Honestly, I think if they go to Lambeau, I think Taysom Hill would be better. Because think about it, like Drew Brees has been hurt off and on, so he's probably aching and shit, and it gets worse in the cold. Throwing the ball in the cold is hard, so it's like fuck it, ground and pound.
I think if Drew comes back, they'll definitely like run with Drew. But if they do play like the Packers in Lambeau, I feel like it'll be more because right now like the ratio is probably like 80-20 at quarterback, like Drew to I think it'll be more like 60-40. Like
Yeah.
rotation will play a lot more.
Yeah, we're running, but you can't stop us.
Right. Like we'll have Drew Brees play like majority of the time, but like at the same time, like when they do feel like they have an advantage in Taysom Hill, they'll run.
And you don't even have to put Hill at quarterback too. You could get him the ball in so many different ways.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting game. Those are the only two teams I can really see coming out of the NFC.
But if obviously like this, like the respect of Drew Brees and all that, if it's like if the game's tied or within a one score and there's 2 minutes to go,
you can't put Taysom Hill in.
Yeah, you have to go Drew.
It's got to be Drew versus A-Rod.
Because imagine how that would look on his resume, or on his career. Like his last season, they benched him for not a scrub, but like they benched him for a 30-year-old
running back.
Yeah, it's just like that would be cool. Sean Payton would get a lot of shit, especially if it didn't work out.
Yeah, because that's how it is, bro. Like sometimes an idea is a good idea and it doesn't work out, but it still makes sense why you did it. But if it doesn't work out, bro, you look like an idiot.
Right.
And it's he doesn't respect Drew.
Coaches in all sports, when it comes down to the crunch time, you have to go with the players that you guys paid.
You have to go with the guys who got you there.
The guys who got you there, the ones you have all your trust in, the ones that have been there, the veterans, the ones that are getting paid, the ones that should be doing this. You can't. No, it's not really a time for experimenting.
Yeah.
Unless that shit works. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge risk.
That's scary.
If it does not work.
Because then if it works, it's Sean Payton had this up his sleeve the whole time. He knew.
But if it doesn't work, it's just you take so much shit.
You
hear about it.
In The Last Dance, bro. Who's taking the last shots? It's MJ. Yeah. He's getting the millions. He's the guy who got us here. We're going to give it to him. Like you said, you got to give it to the guys who got you there. Yeah. In baseball, that's one shitty part about baseball. It's it's a clutch situation. Well, we have our 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up. Fuck. But yeah. Saints Packers for the NFC Championship. Is that your prediction?
Honestly, I like the Bucks, dude.
You like the Bucks?
I know they've not been looking too sharp, but I'm not ready to count them out yet. I'm obviously as a Bronco fan, I love Tom Brady, respect the game, the GOAT, But honestly, I've kind of rooted against him way too many times, and he's proved me wrong way too many times. Yeah. So at this point, I'm fuck it, dude.
Playoff Tom's a different animal.
Yeah, it's just I will never, no matter what the situation is, I will never bet against Tom Brady.
I think the Bucks and Lambeau would be good because they can run the shit out of the ball.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm predicting I think it's going to be the Bucks and I think it's going to be the Bucks and the Saints.
Bucks and Saints?
In the NFC Championship game.
I don't think anybody.
Before I thought it was going to be the Bucks and the Seahawks. But I don't think.
You might think I'm smoking crack, bro. Rams, Packers. Rams defense is legit.
I think what we could get the Rams there is that they have a similar team to when they went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Similar.
They rely on their defensive running game.
And they've been there. McVay's been there before.
Goff.
They have some experience. Goff has been there, so I think that
Woods Cup.
The experience in the place goes a long way.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, I mean, you see it. There's always these one-year wonder teams like Panthers with Cam, even Jaguars when they went to the AFC Championship, and it's some guys just don't know how to win.
Right.
And then there's guys who know how to win. Tom Brady. Throw the deck against him, like you said, but he'll prove you wrong. What's our next one? The Pats beat the shit out of the Chargers. That was embarrassing. The Chargers were favored, and that's the first time in Elias Sportsbook history that a team's been favored and lost by 45 points. Ever.
God bless. That was bad. I didn't know that happened.
Belichick fucking schemed up a defense. That's what happened.
Well, it's dude, Belichick eats freaking rookie quarterbacks for lunch.
Dude, you could be the greatest rookie quarterback ever. If you play Bill, you know you're gonna get fucked up.
It's no matter what you got going for you, Bill has something for you. You know what I'm saying? You can be Justin Fields is probably the best one. Probably I would say the best rookie quarterback right now.
Justin Fields or Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
Herbert, yeah.
Yeah. So
I would take him over anybody.
Yeah. So right now, that dude's playing phenomenal checkers. You know what I'm saying? As good as checkers you can play, but Bill's playing phenomenal chess.
Bill's got the fucking Pope and the Queen, bro.
Bill's playing a whole different ballgame than he is, bro.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, bro, the experience is the thing.
Oh, big time.
Bill's I've seen 20 of you.
Yeah.
You've never seen one of me.
It's not even an experienced NFL coach. It's just a decent experience, been in the NFL. It's Bill Belichick.
It's Bill.
The greatest head coach of all time.
And it's not just him having experience by playing in a lot of games. He's played in a lot of important games, too.
And it's just I feel that's almost a pride thing too for Bill Belichick. No matter how bad they're doing, we're not gonna let a fucking rookie come in here and I don't know where was the game. I don't know.
It was in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Well, it's we're not gonna let a rookie quarterback do this. Yeah,
I'm gonna come here. It's a business trip. Fuck you. I'm gonna go back to Boston.
Exactly. And I I think the Patriots are low key getting it together.
Dude. Well, I didn't know this until Caleb told me. In like the first couple weeks of the season, they only had like one practice where the whole team was there because of all their COVID shit.
Right.
And especially with all their opt-outs, it's like
they have the most opt-outs in the league.
It's like we can't practice a full unit that's never practiced together because it's a whole new group of guys who are just throwing out there and saying, good luck.
Back with COVID, totally new team, all this and that, and there's 500.
Incredible.
That's
why I think Bill's more important than Tom.
That's what it's certainly looking like.
Well, because Bill can, like, for Bill, it's like, yo, my skill positions suck.
Right.
Like, who's their best receiver? Jacoby Myers, who's an undrafted guy. Mm-hmm. Running backs, they're not great. Sony Michel, I think, was a first-round pick. Yeah. He's, like, third string now. They don't have a tight end. Their defense is kind of pieced together, but he's like, I have all these fucking scrubs. I'm 6-6. Right. You have the most talented roster in the National Football League, man.
No, and what I think it's like, just like look at Bill Belichick doing decent with like all this stuff. Like it's like okay, he's adapting, you know. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with like everyone's like like Tom Brady's like or Bruce Arians is like he's ruining Tom Brady. Like he's like just doing a disservice to him and all that. At the same time, it's like Tom Brady's out there doing this for 20 years. Like he should adapt. You know what I'm saying? He should fall out. You know what I'm saying? Like
well, the thing is, man, like.
Because like if
coaches have more authority over a player, so coaches like this is the scheme we're gonna run.
Yeah.
Because this is the personnel groups we have. Like Tom, we don't need to throw these short slant routes. We don't need to throw these quick outs because we have guys who can beat people down the field. So our scheme is gonna be long chunk plays, and you need to get better at that.
Yeah.
Because we don't. Because if you don't, then we're wasting Evans, Godwin, Antonio Brown, Gronk on fucking slants and quick outs.
But I mean, at the same time, Honestly, I think they need to let Brady run with it. But I mean, at the same time, that's what it's not happening like that. So I think Brady does need it. I think he's like trying to force it his way, but I think he needs to just like totally.
I think both of them are just clashing.
Oh yeah, they're I think they need to meet in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like Bruce Arians, like, yo, this is what we're doing. You need to play like this because this is what I want you to do. And Tom Brady's like, no, like I've won 6 Super Bowls doing it this way. And they're like, they need to find a common ground.
Well, Bruce is like, hey man, I've been successful throwing the ball down the field because we have the receivers to do it. Tom's like. Well, that's really not my thing. I'm successful another way. Right. And they're both just like, fuck you.
And I mean, that goes to why Jameis threw for them, like the league 5,000 something yards last year, you know?
And a lot of touchdowns. But a lot of picks, as you're seeing with Tom Brady.
Exactly.
It's a similar season.
Exactly.
High risk, high reward.
Exactly. Big time.
Well,
and obviously that landed James Winston as a second stringer. You know?
Third stringer.
Third, yeah.
Fuck. Well, you're seeing that with a lot of young guys. Just like Drew Lock. He succeeds when he's on the move out of the pocket. Pat Shurmur's like, no, we're doing it my way that I did it with Eli. He sucks. Tom Brady could definitely play a lot better in a system that's built for him.
Oh, big time.
But he don't have it. I don't know. I think if they meet in the middle, though, they're dangerous.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I think they'll get it together.
You think they'll come together though?
Yeah.
I
think low key, I'm not as confident as I am with them as the Bucks, but I do think the Seahawks will get it together too.
You think their defense could come together?
Yeah.
I just don't think they have the guys.
I think they'll squeak by.
They'll play good enough.
They'll play good enough, yeah.
Man, the thing though with the Seahawks are so reliant on Russ that they like most of the lead offenses like the Packers. It's like, oh, A-Rod missing a couple guys.
Yeah.
Give it to fucking Aaron Jones.
Right.
The Bucks, oh, Tom's off. Give it to Rojo. But the Seahawks don't have a good running game.
Not a lot of ways to defer. Like
you know what I'm saying? You can't dish it out here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we have 2 good receivers and we have no good running backs. So Russ is gonna have to throw 55 times a game to DK and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, when he obviously it shows when he's not playing like an MVP, they don't win.
Mm-hmm. That's how one-dimensional that team is. Mm-hmm. Last one that we're gonna talk about because all the other games are fucking embarrassing. Washington football team gets Pittsburgh their first loss.
That's cool.
That's cool, man.
I think that like cemented Alex Smith's comeback play.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's an incredible story, dude.
Oh yeah, really cool.
They better make a fucking 30 for 30 on this.
Yeah, big time. No, I think that was good for everyone. You know, I think it was a win-win as far as like that woke up the Steelers, give them a little slap in the head. You know?
Kick him in the dick, bro. Right. Like, hey,
like wake up, yeah, start playing better. I think they'll like get motivated to play better.
You notice it, bro. When a team plays like too good early, they always like peak too early and they suck. So you got to kind of get every team that wins a Super Bowl, bro, always has one bad loss where you're like, what the fuck? Like last year, Texans beat the Chiefs opening day. You're like, how could the Texans beat the Chiefs? But the Chiefs are like, oh, fuck that. That's not happening again. And then they go win the Super Bowl. Like Denver, when they won the Super Bowl, they lost to somebody's shit, dude. They lost to the Raiders back when the Raiders sucked. Every Super Bowl team has to have one bad loss. So that's why I'm kind of scared of Pittsburgh because we lost to the football team. It was cool. Did you see that clip of Mike Tomlin? He dapped up Chase Young. He's like, man, I never want to be bad enough to draft a player like you. Yeah, that's cool, man, because it shows like Chase Young's proven he's a generational talent.
No, he'll be a problem for years to come.
He's going to be a household name for years and years, man. I think he'll be on that Von Miller, J.J. Watt like territory, you know? Yeah. He's elite. T.J. Watt.
He'll be J.J. Watt in the way that they're not going to get nowhere either. But he'll be the guy.
Number 99 with his 8th sack of the game. But T.J. Watt, though, let's talk about him. That guy is really just fucking.
I could see J.J. Watt forcing a trade to Pittsburgh, play with the two brothers.
Play with the two pros.
I think, you might as well fuck
that D-line, bro.
Dude, I think do that because, like, especially because, like, Big Ben probably has, like, what, maybe 1 or 2 more years, maybe.
I would say so.
1 more good year, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, dude. Just try to get J.J. his first.
Give the house, bro. And the Texans, if I'm J.J. Watt, I'm like, I've been loyal to you since I've been drafted, and you've done nothing to help me, put me in a position.
The Steelers, other than Big Ben, the Steelers are young and good, dude.
Well, they have the TikTokers, the receiver. James Washington's a really good receiver. Running game isn't great, but Connor's serviceable. Good enough. And then their defense, man, they're young. They got Fitzpatrick. Joe Hayden is playing like he's 25 again. They have Dupree. They have what's the other guy's name? TJ, but they have another guy on the D-line. But besides that, and then they have Devin Bush at linebacker. They have a good young defensive unit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the Steelers, bro, if you don't trade for JJ, say, fuck it. Here's our first-round pick for this year, next year. Justin Fields, bro. Let him develop under Big Ben. Next, Pat Mahomes.
There's not a chance in hell they can get Justin Fields.
Just trade a bunch of fucking picks.
No, I would not go all out like that.
I would.
I would.
If you don't win this year, you have to. Because with all the young talent, they have such a short window.
Then you trade away all your guys that got you there.
No. You don't trade away the guys that got you there. You trade away picks. Trade away future guys. Because the way I look at it, we don't need that many. We don't need any more first rounders besides like that guy who gets us over the hump. And with how young their players are and with how good they are, their rookie contract window is gonna expire. So then they're gonna go to other teams because the Steelers can't pay all of them.
I don't know.
Bro.
I think I know they're gonna get like a far draft, like probably late, like the last
28 to 32. Yeah.
But I do think there's enough quarterbacks, like good quarterbacks, that could be sleepers and that they can still draft. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
This draft class is loaded with quarterbacks. Loaded.
It's like that 2018 class. It's loaded.
Bro. It has what? It was Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson,
Trey Lance,
Kyle Trask.
Dude, Kyle Trask is a fucking guy.
And then they have I know I'm missing another one. But even
Sam Ehlinger is going to be a great backup. No, fuck Sam Ehlinger. He's such a pussy.
That's 7 quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? And at least one of those quarterbacks will go far enough back to them. You know?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. But I don't know. Hopefully one of them goes to Denver though. Actually, no, I don't want to wait to draft anybody.
Oh, and then you fucking Ian Book. That's what I was missing.
I don't think he'll be a good NFL player.
But he'll be. You never know, bro.
I don't think he'll be a good. Dude, I think.
Honestly, I don't think he'll. I think he'll be like a great backup. Honestly,
I think
he'll be like a type of. I think he'll be like a. Who's a homie from Georgia that got drafted? Jake Fromm. I think he'll be like a Jake Fromm. Yeah, Jake Fromm's like horrible. I think he'll be better than Jake Fromm.
Dude, Jake Fromm got cut.
He's like on the practice squad.
No, he got like cut.
Really?
Because one of his friends from like college released his text.
Oh, but no, that was pre-draft. But I heard his draft stock for sure.
No, that happened after.
Okay.
So he got drafted like no, because there was sexual assault
on Jake Fromm.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. But they were like, oh, like this girl said he raped her, but it didn't happen. But they're like, oh, he's still labeled as a rapist. So they drafted him late, and then some guy was like, yo, this guy's dropping the N-bomb. Hard R.
And it was like they shouldn't have guns or something like that, wasn't it? Something like that. So
it was like they're too stupid to have guns or something. Like incredibly insensitive racist. But I don't think Ian Book. I just don't think he has the NFL talent. Because Jake Fromm could sling it.
Like, Notre Dame really doesn't play like up until this year. They haven't played. They've never really played great teams.
Yeah, because
they've always been independent.
When you're independent, it's like, we'll beat the shit out of them. We'll beat the shit out of them. We'll beat the shit out of them, and then we'll play Northwestern.
Ian Book doesn't have like great height.
Yeah, and I just don't.
But the one thing he does have is he's a winner. He's a winner. I think if he beats Clemson again against Trevor Lawrence, that will help his draft stock.
I think he's won, but I don't think he's a high level winner.
Oh, no. I don't.
But if he beats Trevor, that's a big balls win, bro.
I'm not. I think the chance of this is a little slim to none. But if Ian Book pulls off a national championship win, bro,
he'll be like Cardell Jones. Remember with Ohio State? It's like fuck it. He was
a backup.
He played 3 games.
Yeah.
He played the Big Ten championship, college football playoff first round, college football playoff championship.
Yeah.
And he was nice.
And that's I think Ian Book's really more in the spotlight than Cardell Jones was. But
especially to a program like Notre Dame.
But just those 3 games like created Cardell Jones' draft stock.
Yeah, literally.
But
I just think Ian Book is successful because he's dual threat. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's good enough like as a passer to be a passer. I don't think he's good enough as a runner to be like, oh, Lamar. Yeah. So I just think he'll be like he's all right.
We'll see.
I don't know.
But nonetheless, a pretty good quarterbacks in one draft is pretty cool.
He's cool, though. Let's talk about college football. Top 4, it's Clemson, Alabama.
No, Alabama, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
England, Clemson?
Notre Dame, Clemson.
Okay.
No, Ohio State's number 3, I think.
Okay.
But I know Alabama.
I don't know the order. I just knew the teams.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people would say that Notre Dame's Clemson win was a fluke because of all the COVID.
Exactly.
So I think that's hard because especially with this season, like in past seasons, it's like, oh, well, that team beat that team, so they're better. But it's like, oh, like, well, that team was missing. Who did they miss? They just missed Lawrence, right?
Right.
But he was on the sideline for that game, so I really don't understand the COVID rules.
It's number 1 Alabama, 2 Notre Dame, 3 Clemson, 4 Ohio State.
Okay, so it'll be Alabama and Ohio State.
No, but because Clemson and Notre Dame are playing the ACC championship game, right?
Oh fuck! I forgot
If Notre Dame wins. Clemson's out.
You can't.
A 2-team fucking.
You can't go in with the same team beating you
right.
twice.
Oh yeah, and even if I think honestly, okay, I'm pro Alabama. You know? There's not stuff.
Yeah, you're an Alabama fan.
I don't really care for Clemson. Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, just the fact they even have a 1 loss is like kind of shitty.
It's kind of like
obviously,
especially in a shortened season.
Right, exactly. Obviously, they're like still by like. You can't
argue
argue that they're a top 4 team.
They're an elite team.
But the fact that they still have 1 loss, as far as like the committee goes, as far as like the rule, like the weight, that's bullshit. Like a 1-team loss.
And especially how short the season is. They've only played 8 games.
Exactly. Right? It should be 4 undefeateds. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
But no, 4 undefeateds from big conferences.
Power 5 undefeated.
Yeah. And then like that 1 loss you can't be any higher than 4. I think you can't. Even if like another Power 5 that's undefeated should not be a 4, and a 1-team loss is a 3.
Well, so do you think Coastal Carolina should be in?
No, I'm just saying that's not a Power 5. I'm saying like big
because they're like Conference USA or something.
Yeah, stupid. And just I mean the one outside looking in is like Cincinnati's like number like 8 or something.
What they're in the AAC, right?
I mean the
fake conference.
Yeah, and I feel like if they had like some bigger games, they could have had a slim chance. But
and I think it kind of fucks teams like that because now with the only in conference, it's like maybe they could have scheduled a Northwestern and a Notre Dame. And then they beat them, and it's like, holy shit, these guys are the greatest things since sliced bread.
Right. And if Clemson loses, they get out, and I think Florida comes in.
The thing, bro,
but then again, if fucking Florida loses to Alabama, that will be their 2nd loss, and so they'll be out. So that would move Texas A&M. Texas A&M would be that fourth spot.
Jimbo Fisher, dude.
He's turned that program around.
Bro, I remember when he left.
Oh, wait. Check that. Texas A&M was already the fifth.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be in.
Jimbo, when he left FSU and went to Texas A&M, he was like, we're going to become national champions. And everyone's like, yo, you're a retard, bro. And he's like, no, I truly believe that. Because I bet it's so easy to recruit somewhere like that.
Oh, yeah. And they have in their next games, I mean, it says postponed against Ole Miss, so I don't know when they'll play that. But their next scheduled game against Tennessee, a winnable game,
Dude, Tennessee sucks.
Tennessee's not good. So so they might, but I do think, I don't think it matters who's the 4 seed. I think Alabama's going to kick the shit out of whoever the 4 seed is.
Yeah.
Alabama's ridiculous this year.
Dude, this is the first time, I think, in our lives that they've had a true, NFL caliber quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who was the guy when we were younger?
Well,
A.J. McCarron.
A.J. McCarron put on a fucking show.
But he was, just a good system quarterback.
But Alabama's always great, obviously, but they had, Heisman talent, like Mark Ingram, and they had,
they had
his receivers.
He had Julio Jones.
They have Julio Jones? I think think he was a little.
He was a little before actually. He was like
He had, Amari
2008.
Cooper, I think.
They did have Amari Cooper.
He had some studs.
And then they had Blake Sims after, and they were still nice because they had TJ, Trent Richardson,
they had
Bo Scarborough.
Blake Sims lost in the semifinals, not to Ohio State.
Yeah, because that was that game Zeke had the big run.
Right, and then the next they had Jake Coker.
Yeah, he was solid.
Jake Coker won the national championship, bro.
Yeah, he was solid.
And so it's been AJ McCarron, Blake Sims, Jake Coker,
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, Tua, and then Mac Jones.
This is the first guy that maybe you could say Tua. I don't know. I think Mac Jones will have a better NFL career.
I think Mac Jones is number 3 prospect quarterback. I would say.
Who do you think's first, Trevor, then Justin, then Mac Jones?
I think Trevor just because like the hype, like if a team.
How can you not?
It's like how can you? It's one how can
you not?
How can you not? It's like even just like it's like the same thing in NBA. Like he's Zion. He's like he had to go number 1. If a team didn't draft number 1, they would get so much shit.
Yeah, you would be looked at as the stupidest people.
Right. It's just like there's only a few players every year.
Like a generational talent.
A generational talent where like there's like dude, you cannot not draft.
You can't miss this guy.
You can't miss that. Even if Justin Fields does turn out well, which I do think he will.
I do too.
It's just like we're saying, you can pass on Trevor Lawrence. Just like on paper and his game, just everything, all the aspects. Like
let's talk about Michigan.
Yeah.
So John Harbaugh has NFL interest from 5 teams.
Fuck it, dude.
If he gets fired.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's a good like X's and O's coach. I didn't know this until I heard it on a podcast this morning. He's never been a head coach anywhere for more than 3 years besides Michigan. And if you hear any of his former players, they're like, "Oh, we won, but I hated him." So like he coached at Stanford. People hated him. Like his best player, Richard Sherman, couldn't stand him. He coaches in San Francisco. Everybody from San Francisco hated him, but they were good. They went to 3 NFC championships. Yeah. And I think at Michigan, I just think his problem's recruiting because I think he knows football.
Well, I think he like recruits guys and like almost like doesn't use them like the way they should be. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, they got like a great, I think 4 or 5-star quarterback, Luke McCaffrey, and he finally said, fuck this and left. You know?
I would.
Yeah, and he's starting, I think, in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Right. And even is he starting?
I think it's Wisconsin.
No, it's Nebraska. I know for sure it's Nebraska.
Well, Graham Mertz isn't Nebraska.
No, Graham Mertz at Wisconsin.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
they have the same goddamn uniforms.
No, but even who was the quarterback they had for forever? It feels like
Shea Patterson.
Is he in the NFL now, or what the hell did he?
I don't know.
He was horrible. He was not very.
He was just not talented. He just wasn't talented and like didn't work hard.
Like
stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. But Michigan's like.
I just think he's a bad recruiter. Like in the NFL, it's like, okay, your job as a GM is to get me guys, and I tell them what to do.
Right.
But in college, it's like, no, you're the GM too.
Right. And you would think like Michigan, that can't be the hardest thing to get guys to come to Michigan,
That's what I think, dude. If you're a good player, it's like, how would you like to be a part of the big blue tradition?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't turn that. Like, I think it's so hard to turn down college football tradition. Like, if a young up-and-coming school like Coastal Carolina, hey, we're good right now. We're top 10 in the nation. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Hey, we're Michigan. Fuck yeah, I'll go to Michigan.
Right. Oh, yeah. I think, it's just not working out well.
I just think he's a poor recruiter.
Yeah, I think they just need something new. I think it's like their program's gone stale.
That's what we were saying last episode. It's like they just don't match.
It's gone stale.
And I just think it's hard to fire a guy who was a legend there. Like Denver with John Elway, man.
Exactly.
It's like,
and I think teams like the last memories they have of Harbaugh is him going to the Super Bowl, even though they lost. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? So he was good, so they're like, fuck you. I mean, he's probably still good still,
Yeah, he probably knows his shit. I don't know, man. I think that's why in college football, if I was like a head coach, I would have like a recruiting director, and then like only for the big prospects would I show up.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like if Trevor Lawrence is like, we're prospecting him, if I'm the head coach, I'm like, hey Trevor, I'm main man and we need you to win.
What I think Harbaugh should go to New York Jets, and then him and Trevor Lawrence would work well together. I think.
Oh shit! Just offensive coordinator, or you think head coach? They're gonna get Adam Gase the fuck out of there.
Yeah, no, I think if you get Harbaugh with Trevor Lawrence,
he's a good offensive guy. He was good with Smith. Oh fuck! Let's throw Kaepernick in there. He's good, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit! And for Harbaugh, you'll get paid more. You'll actually have a competent quarterback, and then if I think Trevor Lawrence will probably go on 16 this year. So obviously he'll improve them if he wins one game. Right. So then Harbaugh looks like, oh yeah, I'm helping too.
And I think is like Stephen A. and all these guys and Dan Orlovsky were like, if Trevor Lawrence gets drafted to New York, he should pull an Eli Manning and say, fuck this, I'm not playing here. Send me anywhere else. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they have a guy like Harbaugh. He'd be like, yo, man, we're gonna build this program together.
And the Jets low-key have some picks too from that Jamal Adams trade.
And I think with Harbaugh and Trevor Lawrence, it's like the whole New York organization realizes that they're not gonna make the playoffs next year. You know what I'm saying? It's not
to rebuild
year. So Harbaugh in this job, he's not on the hot seat, right? You know what I'm saying? This is one of the only jobs in the NFL. It's like one of the few NFL jobs where he's not gonna be on the hot seat right away.
That's true.
He's gonna have years to develop. So he'll have at least 3 or 4 years. At 3 or 4 years, they don't see improvement, and then they'll fire
with young quarterbacks, it's like we'll give them some leeway to develop. And I think if he comes in with Lawrence, it's like they both get that rookie.
I think that's exactly what Harbaugh needs, a completely fresh start.
So you're saying Harbaugh to the Jets?
Harbaugh to the Jets.
Damn. Dude, I could see it. That's the thing with the NFL is a lot of times when a coach gets fired, it's like, well, we have the pieces. Our coach just sucks. So it's like, oh, you came in and you suck. Well, it's your fault.
Yeah.
But with the Jets, it's like, first off, you can't get worse than Adam Gase.
Right.
And then if you have Trevor Lawrence to ride his coattails too, Dick. It's your top pick this week. Not prepared.
I don't have one prepared, man.
Top pick, bro. Bills give the Steelers their second consecutive loss.
I like that a lot.
Bills defense has started playing pretty good. I mean, did you see that stat? Most passing yards through the first 3 starts, and it was like most passing yards through first 3 starts, and it was like Joe Burrow, John Elway or something, and Nick Mullins.
Really?
Yeah, but through first 13 career games or something.
Mm-hmm.
Something like it was like a weird, definitely curated stat, but it's still pretty cool. Through first full NFL season, Nick Mullins 3rd all time in passing yards.
Damn.
That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Guy can air it out. And the Bills looked really good against him. Josh Allen, what did he throw? I think he threw 375 and 4 touchdowns with ease.
Okay, I just looked up the NFL schedule now.
So what do you got?
So real quick, my top pick, I can see the Giants beating the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals are off and on.
I can see that just because if the Cardinals don't play great, they're a bad team. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the stats are every time Murray has under 50 rush yards, they're 1 and 8 or something.
And I think the Giants coming off this win,
and their defense showed some things.
And I think we're saying the Cardinals, you never know what Cardinals going to get. Just like how you never know what Russell Wilson and the Seahawks are going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean they caught them off. Maybe they'll catch the Cardinals off and they'll pull off a win.
Maybe. I think the Giants defense showed some things.
Right.
I think Joe Judge is a good defensive coach. Yeah. So he's going to be okay, we're going to run a QB spot.
And that's the other thing is Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, similar type quarterbacks, so they can almost do
don't let him let out of the pocket.
Similar game plan, and it worked.
Well, yeah, man. I mean,
and it's just you stop Russ and DK, and they did, and now it's you stop Murray and Hopkins, and then, we'll see if they will.
Yeah, let's see if Kenyon Drake can beat us.
Right.
And he can't. That Cardinals defense isn't a great unit either. So,
we'll see.
Is McCoy still playing this week?
I think it's. I don't know. I think it's a question a game time almost.
Those are the worst, man.
I think though. I'm not.
When it's questionable, homie's leg could either be broken in half or he could just be
I feel like they do that in a way to fuck with the other team,
Oh shit!
So
you're gonna watch Colts film? Or you gonna watch Danny Dimes?
Prepare,
Oh, that's smart. Well, it really fucks with my fantasy team. Wish they could send me an email.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, my not slick of the week. James Harden has not come to a day of practice for the Houston Rockets. And if he wants to come back, he still has to miss a week.
And he has to have 6 negative tests.
6 negative tests in a row, but he's been pictured at many Houston strip clubs. This kind of pisses me off, man. Because I get, you're not happy with your situation, but, that's still your fucking job.
Yeah. No, I feel like Harden is such a in-season player. I feel like off-season he's the worst motherfucking teammate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's yo, when we're in season, I'm gonna be here, give you all my best. I'm gonna win games. But off-season, it's man, James Harden. Chill out. I'll be
during the season. They're texting at night. Hey, yo, bro, stay up. I love you. And then he blocks everybody.
Yeah. Off-season, it's dude, don't talk to me. I don't want to hear. It's my off-season.
Well, they got a new coach, man. I feel like for the new coach, that's demoralizing. Because it's I'm trying to come in and help build this team back up.
Help me lead this team.
And my best player doesn't even give a fuck.
Yeah.
I understand. I get, James, you want to leave. But this is still your job. You're under contract by the Rockets right now.
And what is that showing all the younger guys,
Mm-hmm.
Now that
oh, fuck. I'm mad. I just go get some puss.
Right.
It's stupid, man. He said he opened up his trade options. Sixers, Nets, Heat, and Bucks.
He was on the Heat. That'd be dangerous.
retarded.
I heard but the Heat, Pat Riley's like not willing to give up shit for him though. He's not willing to give up like Jimmy Butler or like Tyler Hero or Bam.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, like you're not gonna get James Harden. You're giving up Duncan Robinson.
Yo, we'll give you Duncan, Dragic, and a second-round pick.
Yeah, like that's not. You need to go all in almost. Pretty much.
And I think Pat Riley is really set in his ways, and rightfully so. I mean, he's been incredibly successful. He's like, yo, I've won with fucking Magic, and I've won with LeBron. Yeah. Like, you don't know shit about winning.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't think James Harden would be the missing piece.
No.
Especially if you give away Butler.
I think what Harden's almost feeling too is just like we need someone other than another just point guard, shooting guard type. You know what I'm saying? I think we need a true good big. I don't even know who's the Rockets' true good big. I don't know.
They signed DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh yeah.
He lost like 40 pounds, bro.
I mean, you have to do when you're that tall and that big and on a bad Achilles
you can't be fat.
Yeah.
Like not fat, but he was heavy. Yeah. Like you can't be putting that much force on it.
And it's like Harden and Chris Paul worked out but did it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not what they want. Harden and who they just traded Russ. Harden and Russ. It's like it didn't really work out.
Yo, Russ.
That was like you're getting another guy it's like Russ.
Oh, let's pull in a ball dominant guard, guys.
Yeah, John Wall.
The fuck?
And it's not like John Wall came off like All-Star year. You know, he played in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, he's missed a lot of time. And Bradley Beal proved yo, I'm better without this guy.
Yeah, but I think Bradley Beal would have been almost more valuable to the Rockets than what.
Well, that's the thing. They don't want Russ for Bradley Beal.
Yeah, that's true. It's just like swapping the same shit.
That's what I think.
They're gonna get the same thing.
Ball dominant guards who fucking complain all the time.
I do think Wall's a little bit better, like prime Wall. But I don't even know what I don't even know what prime Wall is anymore. No one does.
Just hitting the Dougie, bro. Ooh.
That's
an ill-ass video, though. Dude, John Wall hits a nice Dougie. You hit a nice Dougie, though. Yeah, folks, Derek hits a nice Dougie. What's your not slick of the week, man?
My not slick of the week is Coach Krzyzewski shutting down the season and saying we should have played we should really reevaluate it. But he's saying this after 2 bad losses, losing to 15 by Illinois. It's like, dude, it's almost like you're shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
it. It's like you're telling me if you were undefeated, looking great, you'd be like, oh,
yo, guys, we gotta care about safety. Fuck safety, man.
Yeah. It's just like, dude, you're just saying this shit because you guys are sorry. When your best player is Matthew Hurt, a white dude. Come on, man.
Yeah, that guy's a weird looking motherfucker too.
But it's just like, dude, you're losing to Illinois. I don't care. Illinois is ranked higher than Duke. If a Duke loses to Illinois, that'll always be an upset. You know what I'm saying?
If anybody that's not Kentucky, beats Duke, they suck.
And it's just it's like, come on, Coach K, don't be like that. Don't try to shut this shit down. Yeah, you're losing, bro. Are you kidding me?
That's
even the Alabama basketball coach is I wonder if you'd be saying that if they've been winning.
And Alabama is they fucking suck. Yeah. But they're yo, we know we suck. Let's just play. Why not?
It's just every other freaking sport in the country, every program's been begging, they're doing anything they can to get on the field.
We'll get COVID tests twice a day. We'll social distance all the time.
Yeah, and he was and obviously everyone argument, which is true. They're safer here playing with us because they get tested and we take them going home.
If they're going out and dicking off,
Coach K was mental health. Dude, shut up, dude. Your basketball coach win games. That's you know what I'm saying. You're supposed to be the greatest coach.
Not paying you to be a fucking counselor or a doctor.
Exactly. It's just
if you should work for the CDC or for fucking Dr. Phil, you get hired. It's just but go drop X and O and fucking win.
Right. That was my not silly.
See, he's like a sore loser.
Yeah,
bro.
It's almost we're losing. Let's just pull this card, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's weak. I thought that weak.
That is weak. I didn't even hear about that. That kind of pisses me off.
It's annoying. Just dude,
you see,
you would never, ever see Nick Saban lose a bad game or two. We need to cancel the season.
No, he's we're having 8 practices a day.
We're gonna fix this shit, turn it around, and we're gonna do better. You know what I'm saying?
Not a sore loser.
Yeah, you know how much shit he would probably get. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Nick Saban doesn't want to play.
Ed Oregon or all these big time coaches would be
no, Nick doesn't want to play.
Yeah, Nick's scared.
Well, you see, LSU's board of directors, so not having to do with their football program, they did some shady shit with recruiting, so they self-imposed the ban, the bowl ban too. Yep. But it's convenient. You knew all of this when Joe Burrow was there, but now that you're 3-5. Well, we can't play in a bowl game. No, you weren't going to play in a fucking bowl game, man.
A chance anyways, bro.
I don't know. I hate when people are sore losers like that, bro.
That's
low-key, Tom Brady's a bitch-ass loser.
Oh, yeah. And have you never shakes Nicole's hands?
Yeah, man.
If he loses to a quarterback that's beneath him, he won't even acknowledge them. You know what I'm saying?
And then if he loses to a guy who's better than him, he's I respect him.
So much praise. Give them all kinds of praise.
No, Aaron had a great game today.
And they called him out about Nick Foles. He was like, "Oh, I didn't realize. I didn't."
Yeah, bullshit, bro.
Like you've been doing this. You've been ending games for 20 years. You know how it goes.
Well, Shannon Sharp talks about this with Skip Bayless. He's like, it's funny how when he lays the fucking dick on Aaron Rodgers, he's all smiles and handshakes. But when Jared Goff beats the brakes off him on Monday night, when Nick Foles gives him the meat in fucking Chicago, like I'm just gonna go into the locker room focus. Go fuck yourself. Because like you said, bro, they've been doing it for 20 years. Because what do? They get the shot of they show the final, they get the shot of the coaches shaking hands, and then the quarterbacks like dapping each other up, having a little bullshit. I don't know. Tom Brady's a bitch ass loser too. I gotta shut the fuck up, man. Legendary Cardinals catcher Yadi Molina is insulted by St. Louis's $10 million 1-year offer. Who's this Yadi Molina. I mean, he's a legend. He's a great defender. Last year, he had a 662 on base plus slugging. League average is 758. 303 on base percentage. League average is 322. And he had no defensive award recognition. It's like, bro, play better and you'll get paid more. Because, like, I understand, yeah, I'm important to, like, these Cardinals championship teams, and I deserve, like, to be recognized for that. And I agree with that. But let's build a statue for you. Because as a business owner, like, your job as a business owner isn't to, like, make guys feel good. It's we need to get the most production for the least money. I don't want to overpay for shit. Business, like, if you're a construction guy like our dads, they're like, oh, well, this wood has, like, sentimental value, so I'm going to charge you, like, 20% extra on the lumber. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to go buy it cheaper. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous, man.
And he's that dude of the week. Who is Luke Garza from Iowa.
Dude, cold ass white boy.
4-0. 4-0, just beat North Carolina, almost averaging 30 points a game. Dude. 30 points a game in NBA or in college basketball?
We only played 40 minutes?
Yeah, ridiculous, dude. And half the time he scores like almost 30 points in the first half. And then in the second half they play him like
they double team him. He cruises.
Like
he plays 5-6 minutes because they're kicking the shit out of somebody.
He puts on a clinic in the first half, and like he's good. Back, he doesn't need it in the back half. So he's just, like that's impressive.
Because like the thing with Russ is really good, but he stat pads. This guy like doesn't really have a chance to because coach is like, hey, we don't want you to get hurt out there.
Yeah, and then even just the whole Iowa team where they have 5 white boys on the court at one time.
It's like the Fab Five.
Like you watch them play, and it's like even like
it looks wrong.
Obviously, you see, I don't look right, but. I mean, obviously, Luke Garza is number one, obviously, but like they play as such a team.
They're a good fucking team.
They're well coached. There's no egos. Like they play to win. Like nothing flashy. Like let Luke Garza cook, and then everyone else can ball.
We don't need all these touches, but when we get them, I promise you, we're gonna do what we need.
No.
It's weird because in college sports,
basically, no player is out there is playing on agenda. You know,
it's not. Oh, I need to average a triple double this year.
Selfless.
It's weird, bro, because like in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, it seemed like the same programs would always do it, you know? Like football, it's like Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas, USC. We're always like in Miami, we're like here. Basketball, it was like Michigan, Kentucky, Duke, and Syracuse. But now like there's like new teams like Virginia, Clemson's like relatively new to like being good.
They're within thousands,
Like
after since starting with College Boy, and that's when they started.
D-Hop. I mean, Alabama, like they weren't good until like the early 2000s.
And then they got great and stayed great.
When do you think that will end? Like
it'll be there until Nick Saban's gone. I think it'll be there in a year or two after Nick Saban's gone.
Yeah, dude. I just couldn't picture living in a world where Alabama sucks. Like that'd be so weird.
I agree with that, but it's like almost like when you think of Alabama football, you think of Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even picture myself in a world where Nick Saban's losing in a way. You know which is Alabama.
Well, because that's one thing about like college sports is like professional sports. Like, oh, you think about Broncos greatness. Who is it? It's like Elway, Shannon Sharp, Patriots, Tom.
Yeah.
Like Steelers, Terry Bradshaw,
and
Big Ben.
In college, like there's not a lot of like obviously there's great players, but like
in college the coach is bigger than the player.
Right. That's one of the big argument why these guys don't get paid. It's just like you know what I'm saying? Like other like you're just a player. You're just a player to the.
You're just a
university.
cog in the machine, man.
Yeah, exactly. You're not a personality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, Alabama football, you're a fan because it's not like, oh, like I love AJ McCarron and only AJ McCarron for the 4 years he's there. You're like, dude, I love this Nick Saban system. I love the program
like
he's built.
Every 4 years, a whole new fucking team comes in. They win a national championship. They leave a whole. You know what I'm saying? A whole. Alabama's almost like if you get lucky enough or like fortunate enough to go to the University of Alabama and you stay for 4 or 5 years, you're guaranteed
to win.
Guaranteed to at least get to the national championship. At least one. Win one probably. But if you're there for 4 or 5 years, you'll be there.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Like even if you're like decent, like look at all these like Alabama running backs, like that Bo Scarborough, like he was decent at Alabama.
It's pretty good.
He got drafted in the 7th round, but like if he had those same stats and he was on any other team almost,
he was on Illinois.
He would have been undrafted. You know what I'm saying?
Or TJ Yeldon, he was a 1st-round pick. Didn't do fuck. Trent Richardson.
Right. Eddie Lacy, Yeldon.
Eddie Lacy.
It goes on and on. The Alabama running backs. It's like when you're in the Alabama spotlight and you do pretty good, like you're gold.
Because in the NFL, the player is always greater than the system.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Von Miller was greater than Wade Phillips when they won the Super Bowl.
Right. Well, it's just like exactly.
But in college, the system always comes over the player.
In NFL, I mean they're both disposable, but more it's like coaches are more disposable than the players. You know, it's like
we're playing bad. That guy's starting. You're fired.
Yeah, if they're failing the players, they do really coach. In college football, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If the player's not doing good, fucking like you have a backup or you just run with him. You know what I'm saying? So like the coaches are so such a big part of that because you know what I'm saying. They coach them, they recruit what they got, and they got what they got, and they can't like make in-season trades. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the cool thing is too, like the coaches seem to like stay longer. You know?
Oh heck yeah!
Because in the NFL, only the good coaches stay for a long time.
Yeah, only like the great coaches.
The great coaches, because like Mike McCarthy was a good coach, Andy Reid was a good coach, and he had been fired before too. Like Nick Saban, he got fired from I think he coached the Dolphins and they suck.
Well, it's like in college, like if it's not modern, if it's not like extremely broken, you not fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Unless like if you make a bowl game every 4 years, that coach will stay.
Oh, yeah. If you're not, as long as if you're above 5, if you're like a mid-level D1, like if you're like the Lobos, you know what I'm saying? If you're the low, okay, this is like you know what I'm saying. This is like a lower level.
Yeah.
If you're the Lobos and you're like a coach right now, and you're just consistently 600, you'll be there for as long as New Mexico football is.
Like Rocky Long, bro. He went to like 3 bowls. Like they were always like around 500, 600.
Like look at a guy like Harbaugh at Michigan going like 700, and it's you considered horrible. They're considered awful. So it's like obviously there's different levels of expectations for every college program.
Yeah, because the thing in the NFL, I think it's more uniform, where it's like, oh, we're all shooting for like the NFL playoffs, like. But in college football, it's like, oh, well, we made a bowl game, so we did good.
Oh yeah.
But if the other team made that bowl game, they failed.
Every NFL team, like their goal is their goal is a Super Bowl, get that right? In college, every team's trying to meet their ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Try to be as great as this team can be.
Mountain West teams are like, okay, we're going to be in low to mid-level bowls, and we're going to make those and win those.
And then everyone knows that. You try to be as best as that.
Big Power 5 is like, if I'm not in the college football playoff, we suck.
Yeah, this is exactly.
If you're Ohio State, Clemson, Bama, Notre Dame, if we make one of those bowls, we fucking suck. Right? And that's what's weird. One weird thing is there's so many different standards in college football. All right, folks, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to us bullshit for an hour. We will be back with you next week for another episode of Top Picks.
Love you always. Dude, that college football talk was ill.
I fucked with it.